trade you straight up right now.
Ooh. No, I can't do it. This is a bad deal.
You
Everybody saw it on camera.
You are a complete moron.
What's up, everybody? My name is Elliott, and today we have 2/3 of the Car Trek Season 2 cars in this garage. Now, as you guys know, I bought Tavarish's Maserati from Car Trek Season 2, and so far, I've absolutely loved it. Now, this is Tyler Hoover's actual CL65 from the show. On the show, it was red, but it's been unwrapped, and this is its natural beige color. Obviously, we know how both of these cars stacked up in the various challenges that Auto Tempest put them through, but what does that mean for a regular-ish person? Well, today I'm going to show you why this CL65 is undoubtedly the better car, but the Maserati is the one that you'd actually want in your garage. Starting off with the styling of the CL65, it's kind of just a big German sedan. The biggest thing is the fact that it does not have a B-pillar, and when the windows roll down, you get a really cool view of the entire pillarless design. So what I mean here is normally there's a big pillar right there in most cars, and in the CL class, it is completely open when you roll down the window, which is really, really cool, really unique, and it is really unlike anything else, especially for a car this size. Like, so you can see over here, Maserati, big B-pillar, can't roll that down. But other than that, it's just kind of a big, long, beige Mercedes sedan. There's actually not even a lot on this car that distinguishes it from the regular CL500 that could have been purchased for just 90 grand. So what justifies the extra $160,000 on this car? Well, for another $160,000, you get a badge right there. You get a little bit of different wheels with some bigger brakes. You get another badge back here. A little bit of a shorter badge there. But the big thing is underneath the hood. Underneath here, you gotta lift this so it sticks its tongue out at you. There it is. Tongue out, pull. And this is where the money's at for this car. This is a twin turbo V12 that makes about 604 horsepower, but 738 pound-feet of torque. That is diesel truck level torque. Look at this though. It is jammed in there. There is not a lot of room left for anything. It's got a really cool carbon fiber cover there. And it's got more coolers jammed in the front of this than I've ever seen. There's coolers over there, here, here. There's coolers stacked on coolers here. There's even a little one up top here for just the power steering. And right here is a radar-controlled cruise unit. So this is one of the first cars to ever have adaptive cruise control. It's 2006. This car doesn't even have a reverse camera, but it has adaptive cruise control. And that's actually pretty neat. But really, like I said, the biggest party trick for this car is the engine. It's similar to the Maserati in the fact that everyone's going to say, well, what's the deal with this car? You have to kind of say, well, you know, don't worry about the outside. Under the hood is what I paid the money for. And that never is that more true than in the CL65 AMG. Other notable features here. Let's see if we can pop this trunk. Nope. Over here, it also has some huge brakes and multi-piece rotors, which is pretty rare, especially for something from 2006. The brakes are quite a bit bigger than they are in the Maserati, but this thing is quite a bit faster than the Maserati as well. And because it weighs so much more, you're going to need all that stopping power to slow down this massive slab of German sedan. Inside the CL65, you're greeted with a really comfortable interior and what looks like remnants of Car Trek. We got Tyler's biohazard suit when they were doing the man on the street thing. We got Red Rock Canyon Keystone Visitor's Guide. That's pretty neat. Back here, we even have, man, just a whole bunch of water bottles. That's incredible how many waters are in here. And a helmet. Look at that. Wonder if I can keep this. Anyway, the rest of the interior is just awesome. I mean, this seat feels like a recliner, and even better than your recliner at home, it actually has a massaging feature, which is really crazy even today, but in 2006, that must have been mind-blowing. It's got a headliner with a sunroof. The Maserati has neither of those things. It's got a full center dash with factory nav, automatic climate control, just really nice real wood. The Maserati has no center stack, and the factory nav that might have been in that car is long gone. Basically, everywhere you touch, it's different than the Maserati. The most impressive feature to me in here is the fact that this has proximity sensors for the front and rear when you're in a parking or low-speed situation. Now, that's not uncommon today, but the way this car does it, it has these little intensity meters, one's for the front and one's for the rear. And you might say, well, yeah, that's great, but you could do it with the reverse camera. But no, this car doesn't have a reverse camera. This car exists in an odd time where those things were possible, like adaptive cruise control and proximity sensors, but reverse cameras weren't a thing yet. So you've got a $280,000 car with no reverse camera, but will match the speed of any car on the highway if you want. Pretty weird. But so this car's got an amazing interior. It's got all the pieces my Maserati is missing and then some. It's a nice place to be. It's well built. Everything feels quality. It's got an engine large enough to pull a building off of its foundation. What's the problem? Why wouldn't you want this over the Maserati? Well, let's get it out on the road and I'll explain why. Okay, out on the road in the Mercedes CL65 AMG. The first thing that strikes me as a difference between this and the Maserati is, again, the fact that I'm greeted with a full interior. And not only is it a full, complete interior, but it's a really nice interior. This car cost more than most new homes back in 2006, so it's finished in the finest materials, and it should be, for $250,000. Obviously, that's not what it depreciated down to, but $250,000 worth of nice interior in 2006 still translates to a pretty darn nice interior in 2020. On the road, this thing's quiet, smooth. It feels very substantial. Every bump that I'm hitting, I'm not really feeling or hearing. It feels like I'm driving a big German bank vault, and that's exactly what you want when you bought one of these cars. So what's the problem with the car? Why isn't this the car that I would choose? Assuming you were going to choose between two of these cars and one was going to be your fun car, well, this one doesn't really ever feel like much fun. And when I say that, I'm not saying that 738 pound-feet of torque isn't fun. I'm saying that you just never feel like you're in a fun car. Here, I'm going out into a closed section of road here, and you know, we'll give it the beans, a pretty swift acceleration, which is what we're doing right now. And I mean, look, there was no doubt about that. That was very fast, and it was incredible. But nothing happened. I just was ushered to a good speed. There was no noise. This car has an aftermarket exhaust, and there was still no noise. And now that we're not doing that, we're back to a normal, fun luxury car, which is great. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. But if this is going to be your fun car, this car lets you forget that it's fun very quickly. It's so good at being German and cold and direct and soulless that it's easy to forget that you have more torque than a 3/4 ton diesel pickup. See, even now, give it a roll on throttle. I mean, it's incredible speed, but as you guys have seen, I've driven slower cars that have gotten a much more exciting reaction out of me. Maybe it's the fact that it's, you know, the old school slush box automatic, or just the power delivery is so smooth that even though you're going a crazy speed, it just never really feels like it. And the fact that I didn't do any work. It felt like the car did that for me. I literally just was here for the ride. Honestly, I could see myself driving this every day and completely forgetting that it has as much power that it does, because it's so good at just cruising, being a good highway cruiser or city cruiser. It's so good and purposeful that you forget that you've got a monster under the hood. This is more like it. Listen to that. Oh, and the whole time, that was me. I've been fighting it. That's a gear shifter you got to really work into. The steering is kind of hunting around. I've got wires to wipe out of my face. This whole car requires participation. And whoa, felt those bumps, unlike in the Mercedes. Now, if this is a car I'm only going to be driving occasionally, this is more my style. I've got to pay full attention. This car is wandering around. There's stuff falling off around me. I mean, the whole thing is an event. And that's what you want out of a fun car. Do you want to get into your fun car and just kind of lazily usher yourself to wherever you're going? Or do you want to work for it and listen to stuff and listen? And with that, I didn't even get going as fast as I did in the Mercedes, but it sounded awesome. And I felt like I was doing something. This is what a special car should feel like. This one just happens to feel a little bit more special because it's flashing the hazards, and I have no rear view mirror. And every time I look in this rear view mirror, I see a giant wing and a bunch of stickers. But that's okay. I think that just makes an already special car that much cooler. So the Mercedes CL65 AMG is an amazing car. It's big, it's incredibly fast, and it's built like a German brick poop house. But there's no soul to it. Even when you're accelerating, it doesn't make any noise, and the sense of speed just isn't there because you just kind of look down and you're going faster with no real sense of occasion. Meanwhile, the Maserati is an emotional experience from start to finish. From the relief and excitement you get when it starts up for the first time, to driving, shifting gears yourself, sweeping wires out of your face, keeping the steering straight while it's following the road around like it shouldn't be. This car is a participation event the entire time. It never lets you forget that you're driving something special. So the Mercedes is a better car in every single aspect, but the Maserati is a lot more fun. And that's why I would choose the Maserati every time. All right, well, thanks for letting me borrow the car, man.
No problem. What do you think?
It was all right. It's built better than the Maserati.
It's basically a hubcap for a third of the price.
It is, and it makes none of the noise. This thing is whisper quiet even under full throttle.
It is pretty quiet, but it's well insulated, you know.
Yes.
The Remus exhaust, if you're outside of it somehow, it's okay. But it's sorted.
Yes.
Unlike this.
There's some work.
You did clean up about 50 pounds of the Tavarish trash in there, yes. The water bottles are still...
Yeah, told you I didn't clean those out. I cleaned it and I got gas for you, but I left most of your trash.
So which one?
This one, every time.
I'll trade you straight up right now.
Ooh. No, I can't do it. This is a bad deal.
You
Everybody saw it on camera.
You are a complete moron.
That would undo everything I just said in my video.
Dummy.
The reason why is because this does the fun with no drama. There's nothing. It just does it. It's German, soulless excellence. And this, well, you have to work at it. And it makes it known that it's a fun car.
You're saying this has no soul.
I'm saying this has no soul.
You're out of your mind. And it's going to be just as painful for whoever keeps this thing going. Maybe not quite as bad, but yeah, you have ABC suspension, the twin-turbo V12. This is a proper... it's a supercar.
I don't know. I think that it's not, and that's why, Ed Bolian agrees with me.
Okay, yeah.
For example, we were driving through the neighborhood, there were some kids walking. I drove by in this, they didn't say anything. This drove by, and I heard, hey, cool car. You don't get that in this.
I let you borrow my Mercedes to make a video so you could just basically crap all over it. Thank you so much, Elliott.
No.
Guess you're on your way, yes?
No, I admit that this is the better car. I just said that this is the one I'd rather have. That's all I was getting at.
Well,
but thank you.
Good for you.
I washed it and I fueled it up. I thank you.
It's much better without the wrap, isn't it?
Yes. This is a much more Mercedes color.
Oh, yeah.
It suits it.
All right. Well, is this an outro?
Yeah.
Are you supposed to say like...
This is like an after the credits probably. But yeah, bye.
Thank you for watching.
Subscribe and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, all that.
Ring the bell, wherever it is. Bells. Hell's bells.
All right. Thanks, man. But yeah, let's see what else we've got here. We've got a really weird cup holder thing. Check this out. You have to help it. There we go. And it all folds out. This seems really bizarre, even for a German car. Needlessly complicated, but you know, it has it. And it is nice to have a rear view mirror and visors and a center console. This is a big upgrade right here. I am very used to not having any of this stuff in the Maserati. And I gotta do a U-turn and experience my rub. Special, remember? Special.